Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 71 of the Seezus Show. Interesting week, to say the least. I normally say it's been an exciting week, yada, 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 but, this past Sunday, January 26th, we lost someone very, very special in the basketball community, NBA community, around the United States, around the entire globe. Talking about Kobe Bean Bryant. And it's just been crazy. This episode is going to be dedicated towards him. So, without further ado, introduce my guest and we can get straight to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for my boy, my co-host, Trey.
What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? What's up, y'all? What's good? Hope everybody out there is all right. Tell the first time listeners, the last time listeners, and everybody in between. What's good? What's up? Hope everybody's holding up all right.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I guess I want to start off just let's just talk about where we're at.
Okay.
So with me, you already know what I'm doing on the side. So literally been traveling like every single week, and it was like a 2-day seminar I was at. It was on a Sunday.
Sheesh.
Class was like from I think 10 to 3 that day, and I want to say it was around. So it had to be 10 o'clock ish West Coast time. So that's 10, 11, 12. So around like 1 o'clock our time, I would have to say.
Yeah, dropped to
I was
like
just in my class
1:30.
and before I had to do like a little presentation, I get like my phone is blown up, and I look at it, and one of my boys, Mo, was like, "Yo, Kobe died," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was kind of in denial. I was like, "All right, like this is some BS." So I do what I had to do, and then I got more texts. And the only source we saw was through TMZ.
Yeah.
You know, TMZ sometimes it can be having a lot of false information. So I didn't really know what to believe, and it wasn't until like maybe 30 minutes to an hour later, I got confirmation from like CNN and Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN. List goes on and on. And it was wild too because we had our first lunch break, and rewind back to the night before. I was actually watching the Lakers play the Philadelphia 76ers, and it's kind of crazy and kind of ironic how Kobe's from Philadelphia, and the Lakers happen to be playing Philadelphia, and that's where LeBron happened to surpass him on the all-time scoring list and be number 3. It was just crazy because after the game, he spent about like 10, 11 minutes just talking about how he met Kobe, the impact he had on him and everyone else. And it was just he's just paying homage to him.
Facts.
Fast forward, I'm kind of in denial a little bit, and it really didn't sync with me until I was about to leave for my flight. And it was just wild because he's so young, and I feel like a lot of times when we see people of his stature go away around the age like this is normally like self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what to think. Like, I don't really cry as much, but I shed a lot of tears the whole day. It was like as hours passed by, I just started shedding tears because as you get older, I just feel like when you go through obstacles, a lot of ups and downs, and you just experience a little bit of life more, death kind of hits you a little different.
Yeah.
And the fact that, his 13-year-old daughter passed away with him. The other people on the helicopter passed away with him. He's gonna have kids. He's gonna have the 2 little ones, essentially growing up not really knowing him like that, and the wife who is gonna have to carry this burden. It kind of really sucks, man. But like, where were you at when you found out about everything? Take me through your day.
My day, it was interesting because I went to church. I went to a live church over, and it was weird because I started off the day because he kind of got heavy right when we walked in. He was like, praying for some like deep stuff, all that stuff like that. And I remember everybody was up, eyes closed, and I was kind of just like sitting there. I was like, all right, I mean, I was with the program, but just some days where you're like, all right, I'm not really coming here. Like I'm not really feeling the heaviness right now. I could get heavy, but I'm just maintaining them cool. So everybody's like up, praying, eyes closed. I'm just like sitting there on my phone, kind of like scrolling, whatever like that. She's like, ready like to hear the sermon and make it applicable, ready to bounce. I had to go ref, Because when I go to church, I'll go,
Yeah.
and then I'll go leave a little bit early. If somebody rode with me, take them back home, and then I'll shoot over to the gym that I'm repping at for the basketball league. And in the basketball league, not to make it a color thing, but I mean, I'm repping like a lot of predominantly white league. And it's kind of like beginner skill level or intermediate skill level to like some high school, but they're not like they're not like elite basketball players by any means. So I'm there. We rep a few quarters. My legs are already like hurting, so I'm like, let's get this out of the way. We ref a few games, and I think we ref like one game. We started at 1, and then my roommate who I ref with, he's like, "Yo, like you see this?" And it was TMZ, and they had like the worst picture, like Kobe, like halfway talking, like with his mouth open, like really blurry picture.
Disrespectful.
I'm just like, just TMZ, bro. Like helicopter crash, like it's just stupid, like whatever. Like I'll look at it like, oh, Kobe Bryant has died, or that. They just didn't like it. Looked like a tabloid for real. You know what I'm saying? It like a tabloid. It's all right, but after that, so you roughing periods or whatever like that. You roughing quarters. Come back after the next quarter, the next little timeout. Grab my phone, and there's like reports of this, reports of that. Nobody's really broke after that game. It's like reports broke. Kobe's helicopter crash is down the third, and I'm like, bro, like what? This is like. I'm just like, what? Like, this is stupid. This is a joke. This is stupid, On top of that, like, I'm in the gym, not really trying to rough, and then these kids are like, oh, you see that? Oh, Kobe. Kids that never, like, not never, but just, I know they don't take basketball as seriously as me, people I hang around, my circle, the people I aspire to be, or, that wasn't really embedded in them. They might have been a fan of Kobe per se, but I'm not sure how much Kobe was really embedded in them from a teaching and learning standpoint. So as the day went on, it's just more of a talking point to them. I'm not sure how really much it's just another person died to them. For us, it's like it's deeper than that, and we can get into that as we go along. But it was deeper than that. Just where I am was like, and then as the day goes on, I have like 3 or 4 more games. Kids are like, "All right, guys, this is for Kobe. Kobe on 3. 1, 2, 3, Kobe," which is cool. Like I understand his multicultural impact, but for me, it was just like, bro, like not even like that he doesn't like belong to you guys, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like it's deeper than that. It's deeper than just, like, oh, somebody died. Oh, okay. It was like, R.I.P. Let's do this for him for this day. And then it fades away going forward. That's Kobe spoke for so much more than that. So me being in the gym with people that I feel like didn't appreciate basketball as much or really didn't appreciate Kobe Bryant and understand what was going on, maybe from a youth standpoint, maybe from a cultural standpoint, it was just like, it got tiresome for me. Mm-hmm. And I finally I got home. I had to turn my phone off for most of the day because it was numbing and it was just a lot that came with it. It was just like, what? Like you kept reading and scrolling, different people are reacting and stuff like that, different like stuff being put out there, and it's like, bro, like this is too much. Like this is not one of those like go numbed ups. It's like everything you read is like everything I read. I was like, nah, bro, I can't keep up with this. So I put my phone down and really didn't turn anything really back on until Monday morning, and I had like the day off on Monday, and literally I was stuck for like 2 or 3 hours just sitting there watching ESPN. Like it was just like, why can't I move? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where I was with it, and we can go into it deeper about who Kobe was and what he meant for all aspects, but that's where I was, and I was just. It was not. I didn't want to be in the gym. They could kind of tell. I was just like trying to rep to get those games over with. It wasn't a good sight as far as just, attention goes. Mm-hmm. So
it's just crazy because we have some of the facts here. So here's what's been confirmed. So the helicopter is called the S-76B. The helicopter crashed just before 10 a.m. Pacific time near Calabasas, California. We know that Bryant and his daughter were headed to Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks, California for a youth basketball event. The helicopter carrying Kobe Bryant, 8 others have been given, essentially they were given special permission to fly despite foggy conditions, according to a report from the New York Times, due to the inclement weather. The chopper was flying quite low. CNN reported at one point an air traffic controller informed that the pilot was still too low for flight following at this time. So because it was too low for flight, that means if it doesn't reach a certain height, the radar's not going to pull up. So because of that, like I guess they didn't really know exactly where they were, and like I said, this kind of mixed with the fog as well too. But there were 9 confirmed deaths and no survivors. So all the 9 victims were identified. It was Kobe, his daughter Gigi, John Altobelli, a champion baseball coach at Orange Coast College, was killed along with his wife Carrie and daughter Alyssa. Other victims included Christina Morser, Sarah Chester, Peyton Chester, Era Zaboyan. So RIP to them as well too. And it's crazy because this was an experienced pilot. Apparently had over 8,200 hours of flight time, as the records were submitted last July. And then it says his record, along with the records of any crew, will be examined during the investigation. The helicopter ended up circling Glendale for 14 minutes after takeoff. The pilot proceeded to climb into the clouds before taking a sharp turn and ultimately hit the ground. And I guess there was like a bushfire that kind of spread across everywhere as well too, but not really much to go into that. I mean, we kind of knew what happened. Obviously, there was videos that surfaced as well too. It looked like a nasty, nasty, nasty crash. That had to be instant. I can only imagine, like, with those waning seconds, like you're about to go away. I just feel like he definitely grabbed onto his daughter, and I can't even imagine what he said, but. Yeah, man, Kobe had a very, very historic career. Spent 20 seasons in the league, 18-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA first team, 9-time All-NBA defensive team, was a part of the Redeem team, and, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, youngest player in NBA history at the time of his debut, 1996 at 17. 4th leading scorer in the NBA right now, 33,643 points. And, he won 5 NBA titles as well, too. But it's kind of crazy, man. Like, I feel like the other day, like, I was so excited. And I kept saying, yo, Trey, you got to read this moment mentality. You got to read this moment mentality.
Which is great.
Which is great. It taught you a lot. Taught me a lot as well, too. But I just remember growing up, back when I did play basketball, I remember playing AAU for the Demi Wildcats, and the first shoes I wore was before he had to deal with Nike, his Crazy 8s.
Okay.
Had the blue and white customized one. I remember I had my dad take me to, I forgot the name of, it was kind of like a Dick's Sporting Goods before Dick's Sporting Goods. Maybe Dick's Sporting Goods been around for a while, but it was some I forgot the name of the sports store. I can't remember the name of the sports store, but it was kind of like the cheap, like headbands, athletic gear, all that good stuff. But I remember Kobe used to get his wristband before he had the sleeve, and he would put it like up to his forearm. Yeah, so I used to do that as well too. And I just remember just being a kid in the backyard, counting down from 5 to 1, trying to shoot that last shot, or just being in my elementary class, and we would ball our paper up, and then one and everyone yell,
yeah, Kobe,
Kobe. But yeah, it's just crazy because I mean, if there's anything we learned from him, was work ethic. Yeah. This was one of the dudes who was first to be in the gym. Literally the cliche: first to be in the gym, last to leave the gym. He was someone who found his passion, and he tried to teach. He didn't try to necessarily teach. He tried to inform everyone to, test a lot of different things out. And then once you test things out, find your passion. And then once you find your passion, just work hard. And he exemplified strong work ethic. He exemplified consistency. He exemplified confidence, determination, and love as well too. And I think with this death in general, although it is a tragedy, I think one thing we can agree on that his tragedy, this death, kind of brought everyone together. I found myself contacting people that I'm relatively close with, but I could definitely, reach out to every now and then as well too. Even with me and my father, we don't have the best of the best relationships, but I found myself having a conversation with him for like 15 minutes. We just rapping about life and whatnot, and really not to take anything for granted. So my whole thing is, if you want to do something in life, just go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally only have one life to live. You never know when you're going to pass away. So do what you love. And and that's essentially about it as well too. And there's no point of having any animosity towards someone or anything like that, because at the end of the day, you don't know what anyone's going through, and life's too short to be arguing with someone.
Of
So
course.
at the end of the day, just spread love, and positivity. But what else you want to add to that, man?
I don't know. It's a lot that comes with him because he's embedded so deeply. Definitely for I don't know. I just grew up with a family that
Family what?
sorry, I got hit with a text. But I grew up with a family that that from a training basketball standpoint, like the people that train me, like my second family almost.
Yeah.
And I even text like these guys, and he was torn up about it. And this is an older guy. His son was the college basketball player, but he was like trained. And when his son was gone, it was me and other kids, and we be from the 757, like the Chesapeake area. You know what I'm saying? Like his son played with kids like Steve Pleasure, like Oklahoma, like and stuff like that. So like that was the crop. So they were good players and stuff like that. But he approached it just like Kobe, like dude, like pull up jumpers just like it. We would go and like anytime we had like a free afternoon, like we would be chilling, eat some food, be on his couch. Just like I remember we watched Kobe, like the Muse documentary when it came out. We watched some other stuff, just like we were so like embedded into who Kobe Bryant was. Like my handle was Trade XXIV. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's a lot that comes with it because he as far as basketball goes, it's like it's two different worlds. It's like in a way is anime, is Dragon Ball Z, is there's this part of us that's like very much mortal. It's like, all right, step on the court, boom, boom, back and forth. But when it's really turned up, you really like get immortalized with it. Kobe Bryant was the basketball god of discipline, literally, like point blank. And I've been meaning like to write something on it, and when I do, I'll drop it. But I haven't had one at a time or like really the nerve to like really get all those thoughts out. But
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, for me and for a lot of other people, was the basketball god of discipline. Just what he wanted was to win, and what he wanted was to be the best. And I don't think Kobe Bryant was the best basketball player we've ever seen, but he was the most skilled and he was the hardest worker. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not arguing that, being like, people are like, all right, the comparison is over. I'm not making a comparison. I'm just saying from just a raw standpoint. From a raw standpoint, I would look at LeBron and be like, all right, LeBron is the better basketball player. But Kobe Bryant was never gonna let LeBron be better than him in a way. If they were both in their prime, Kobe would have saw that and been like, yo, like I don't care if he has all the attributes. If he this, that, and the third, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. Just like the Jay Williams story, where Jay Williams comes into the gym, sees Kobe in a sweat already, doing game type moves, and then Jay's shooting around, gets his workout in, and Kobe's still going. And then he goes up to Jay and Jay asks him like, "Yo, why you still here?" And he's like, "Yo, well, I saw you come in, and I just want to let you know that anything you do, you'll never be better than me." That's Kobe Bryant's mindset. Is like, "Yo, I'm gonna dedicate more time to it, more everything to it."
Yeah, and that's where confidence comes from.
Yeah.
Because some people would just be like, "How do you have confidence?" You have confidence because you work on your skill, you work on your craft every single day to the point where it becomes second nature.
But you know where that definition of confidence came from? For me, it was Kobe Bryant. Him saying that. So our coaches would regurgitate it because our coaches were fans of Kobe Bryant and so on and so forth. They were asking us not to do Kobe like stuff in the game unless we had practice, unless we were really hitting that stuff. But Kobe Bryant was that definition of confidence.
Yeah.
And it's so wild because I don't know. It's everything Kobe said and embodied. You just like you caught on to it, and he's like, "Oh man, like yo, like Kobe did this, Kobe did that," and just his rage that he played with. He really seemed like there was rifts between maybe like his family, his immediate family, maybe his mom and his dad and stuff like that. So he really embedded himself into everything. And for kids that, maybe don't have both parents, don't have all the resources, don't have this, that, and the third, he was walking testament that you could pour yourself into a craft and it pay off for you. If you were undyingly ready to pour yourself into it, you could really just do that and it pay off. It doesn't matter what it was, but he was an alchemist of that. It bent to his will, and granted, he took a more lighthearted approach off the court. He was the person he was, but on the court, he was a giant, a god, again, an alchemist of just saying, all right, because I did this so many times, because this is gonna happen my way. Games they shouldn't have won, championships he might have shouldn't have been in, but because he worked so hard, because he qualified himself, and then he told outcomes that should have been different outcomes to move over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you can't do that. He was told he couldn't be in the NBA. He couldn't be. He was like, watch, I'm going to work so hard. It doesn't matter. Sewell, you can't have an award-winning podcast. Sewell, you can't do this, that, and the third that you do on the weekend. All right, but the spirit of Kobe Bryant is taking it. All right, cool. Work. Move over because I said so, because I already put the work in. That was Kobe Bryant, and it was tough because he was our Superman. He was our Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? And he's the closest thing to a superhero that we really had. I mean, we have LeBron now. We've seen Jordan, who was the god of old. Kobe Bryant was Kobe Bryant was Game of Thrones reference. He was the new, like, by the old and the new guys. Kobe Bryant was the new guys. I mean, slowly fading away to being the old guys, and then giving LeBron and more people the throne to do so. But Kobe Bryant was that person for us. It gives me chills because you don't think about that kind of willful soul, that kind of spirit, even by those kind of causes, even by such tragic causes, being able to be taken like that. He's indestructible to us. He's indestructible. Never in a million years would we wake up and think on a Sunday that he will be gone like that.
If you would have told me that Bill Russell
was gonna outlast Kobe Bryant,
I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a odd, weird, like, sick joke, and it's like it feels like we're like every day is like, nah, he's not really gone because he's indestructible to us, and in so many ways for me. And again, I'll write the piece that I have in my head, so I'll go even deeper into this, more than just kind of words, audible words. So you guys can kind of read it, but when something like that happens, it's too powerful to kind of let go. You know what I'm saying? He made himself a force of nature, and it's like if you take away the moon, or it's like if you take away the tides. That's what he was to basketball. You take away the moon, then the tides go crazy. You take away like the water, then like it's just an imbalance, And I just feel like that him crossing over into everything that's after this physical form is just, it's kind of like a nuclear explosion. It just let everything off. So there's a shift, bro. Like, basketball's changed forever. We're changed forever. That's somebody we hung on to. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only transfer it. It just, that energy transferred, and we're all kind of feeling that. We're trying to figure out what to do with that. His soul, his spirit's in a different place. Shout out Gigi. Shout out everybody that lost their lives on that helicopter crash and that, on that tragic day. It's just, it's a different dimension, man. When forces like this go, it's just so different, man. And again, in 1,000 years, you would never think that our Superman, our Batman, our Iron Man would be gone like this. And he's embedded in everybody, from a competitive, from a sports, from a hardworking standpoint. Kobe Bryant is the basketball god of discipline.
It's crazy too because, like, when you're talking about Alchemist, I'm sure a lot of you guys have read the book The Alchemist. Him and the author was actually making a book together.
That's crazy.
And it was going to be about it was going to be tailored for misrepresented kids or something like that as well too. But literally, the author came out today and he was like, "Yeah, we had something in the works, but since he passed away, I just deleted it. Like, there's no point of continuing and whatnot." But yeah, man, after he retired, most NBA players, that's all they know is all they live and breathe is basketball. And for him to make such a smooth transition was kind of crazy. He kind of just came to terms with it. I'm always going to be involved around it. Although I can't play anymore, I'm going to utilize my greatness, find other passions, and still try to inspire people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be, him winning that Oscar, Dear Basketball, or he made several kids books. I remember he invested a podcast called The Punies. Obviously, that book that I read, Mama Mentality. Then he made a couple other kids books as well too, and he just scratched the surface.
Of course.
And it kind of seemed like just from his interviews, whether it be through Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Ellen, or whatever show he went on, it seemed like this was when he was the most happy. You know what I'm saying? He got time to spend, with his family. And I don't know, it just felt like he was just more in that give and move, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be crazy moving on. But like you said, energy transfers. And if we've learned anything, it's just to love, give. I mean, that's all you can really do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And if you really want to have a conversation with me about this, somebody hit me up, hit my DM, whatever like that. We'll have the deepest conversation you can have, probably the wildest conversation. Can't tell everything on a podcast, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if anything, we'll embody his spirit. The man was one thing. The man's beautiful, definitely from a family standpoint. The love he had for his daughters, his kids in general. Just because, there's so many stipulations, so many stereotypes, but that's in a lot of ways is the example, just the love for it. And you don't have to be a superstar to have that love for your family, that sacrifice for your family. He was only on the helicopter because he wanted to spend more time with his family. He had been doing that for at least a decade. For at least a decade, he had been doing this because he wanted to spend more time with his family. He wanted to pick up his kids. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't have to be your kids. If you don't have kids, it can be your brother, it can be your sister, it can be your mother. He sacrificed his calling because he had a family as well. And it seemed like a perfect balance, Family comes first. Your craft, something, you're putting 40 hours a week into. And maybe right now it's not. Maybe you're working 40 hours a week for something that you're trying to get to your craft. Yeah. Well, again, he's the spirit of discipline, an embodied sacrifice. So you can learn to be disciplined enough to use every day wisely. And this part is so chilling for me. And this will be my last comment until you guys can hit me up in my DMs, shout me out, text me, whatever like that. But what's so chilling to me that, and Joe, and then I think Mal alluded to this too on the Joe Budden podcast, but he said that, yes, Kobe was 41, but Kobe lived a full life, right? Because he was always in pursuit of the thing he wanted to do the most. And he was always making time for his family, that it seemed like 41 might not have been 41. 41 could have been, for him, it might have felt like an eternity. It might have felt like, 60. Yeah. And not even, I'm not going to say 80 because who knows what it feels like to be 80 at 41. But that's how he approached each day. Each day was a full day for him. And thank God he got to experience that. But two, he spoke about it every single day, how much of a necessity time was. Like in the ways in some of those interviews, there was a glimmer in his eye that was like, yo, like, time is so precious to me. Why would I waste my time on anything else other than my family, other than my craft, right? Because it could end any time. Like, because that's the backdrop to talking about time. It's like, why would I waste my time? Time is all I have until time is up. So he lived by that mantra. How you live is how you go in a way, and not saying that to be insensitive, but literally he lived that life. He wasn't out there just capping whatever like that. Yo, you got to speak your time, and then he was wasting time. Kobe spent every day doing what he wanted to do, what we wanted to do with it, taking care of his business, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So Kobe understood the essence of time. He might not have known the day, the time, or the hour, but he understood the essence of time, and he didn't waste any time. So I'm shout out to his family, love and prayer. Shout out to all the family members that are still left behind. Okay, Kobe Bryant had the head, and he had again the basketball god of discipline. Understood that time was of the essence. Every time he stepped anywhere, he got on that helicopter, he stepped on the court, he spent time with his daughter. He understood time was the essence because you cannot control time. And you know what? He's the GOAT for that. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. Shout out to the Bryant family. Shout out to everybody that lost their lives on Sunday.
For sure. I mean, that's nothing else to say. To be honest, like I think it can literally end right there. So that was awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. Episode 71 of the Seezus Show. Make sure to subscribe on all forms of social media at the Seezus Show, at Sir Seezus, at Traded XXIV, and Kobe, your family, everyone else who perished in this helicopter crash. Rest in peace, and we'll see you another time in another life form. Yeah.